What is up, meal prepping family? It's Bobby, and today we are gonna make a low-carb, keto-friendly version of a Chipotle burrito bowl. Obviously, we love burrito bowls from Chipotle that have like starchy beans and rice and all those fixins, but if you're on keto, you gotta stay away from that until now because this bowl is full of goodness, has mucho sabor, and very low in carbs. So let's make a burrito bowl. My version of Mexican cauliflower rice with spices, herbs, and lime juice, and served with juicy spice-crusted pork chops, sliced thin and topped on the burrito bowl with all the fixins. So if you love healthy meal prepping that actually has flavor, click that little subscribe button and also push that cute little bell that is right down below. You'll get a push notification as soon as my videos go live every Friday morning, and I would love for you to join the Flav City community. All right, this recipe gets started with 5 boneless pork chops in front of me. And I will give Chipotle credit. Their chicken and their pork taste delicious. They have mucho sabor en estos condimentos. It's probably wrong, but it's okay. But we can recreate that too, right? I'm gonna make a really flavorful gringo, obviously gringo style spice rub. And to do that, I'm gonna start with my all-time favorite spice ever. Let's add 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of ancho chili powder, and 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. And this is a great spice rub because it kind of mimics the flavors of al pastor. And if you haven't had ancho chili powder, it's awesome. It's not necessarily spicy, it's more like fruity, kind of like a spicy raisin. Let's pinch over a liberal amount of salt, and then about half of the spice rub, flip them over, do a little more salt, some spice rub, and then drizzle over a little bit of avocado oil. The oil is gonna be some liquid love and add a nice amount of fat to the chops, which can be a little lean. But in the meantime, I'm gonna push these to the side so they can marinate and take the chill off.
Because you don't wanna put cold meat in the pan, right, Bobby? We get it.
I may sound like a broken record, okay? Yes, that is exactly the reason. I'm not gonna waste anyone's time then. In the meantime, while that is marinating, we can get cracking on the cauliflower rice with the Mexican spices and the aromatics. So I have 2 heads of cauliflower that I halved right here. Don't buy cauliflower rice at the store because I pretty much discovered you're just paying for stumps. I don't know about Art or me or you, but I am paying my hard-earned cash for stumps. I can use a little elbow grease and grate my own. So just grate some on a box grater here. And try not to get too much of the stumps or the stalks. Just use the cauliflower florets. You can see that it turns into beautiful cauliflower rice very easily. All right, that is the last cauliflower. My mountain rice is done. And see what I mean? Stumps. I don't want to buy that, right? But save these. Keep these in the fridge or the freezer. You can make some really good veggie stock out of that. Now I'm preheating the largest pan I have in the kitchen. And I'm not gonna use avocado oil. We've been using that like strictly for the last month. Let's use some good old olive oil, drizzle in a tablespoon into the pan. Then go in with half an onion that's chopped, and then add a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, along with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a few cracks of black pepper. And give that a mix up, and I'm gonna give that a few minutes so it could cook down. In the meantime, leave a comment below and let me know what kind of meal preps you wanna see going forward. I'm loving doing the keto, but anything you want, let me know and I will totally hook you up. All right, now that the onions have a head start, we can add a couple cloves of garlic that I finely minced. Here's why I love a recipe like this. To make the Mexican cauliflower rice, I'm using the exact same spices that we use for the pork chop. So if you're a lazy cook or a lazy chef like me, this is right up your alley. So go ahead and add a teaspoon of the ancho chili powder, a teaspoon of the cumin powder, and a teaspoon of the smoked paprika. And then give it a stir up. And the reason I like to toast the spices in the fat, well, you guys have heard me say it a million times. I've asked this as trivia. Art, just in case they don't know, come in and tell them why I'm actually taking the time to cook the spices for a minute.
The spices get better as they bloom in the hot oil.
Thank you, Art. Well said. All right, so I'm gonna do that for a minute. Ooh, I just got a big whiff of the ancho chili. That's good stuff. And then I'm gonna splash in a little bit of chicken stock. Now go in with a 1/4 cup of chicken stock. That's gonna make everything nice and saucy and help the color of those spices really infuse into the broth because next up we're adding the mountain of cauliflower. So gently and carefully add all of that. Now let's do this week's trivia. I wasn't gonna let you down. Do I wanna salt this cauliflower now before it cooks? Or do I wanna maybe wait until after it cooks to season it? Pause the video right now and answer below.
Are you seasoning later?
No. Good thing I didn't ask Art to come in because I am gonna season it now. It's one of those things that if you wait till later, it's not the same. The salt doesn't have a chance to really soak up into the cauliflower. So because cauliflower is bland and there's a lot in there, pinch in about a half a teaspoon of salt. This would be the time you would slap down a lid, but I don't have a lid this big in my kitchen, so just take a sheet tray, throw it down, and I'm just gonna let that steam for about 3 to 4 minutes. I don't wanna overcook it. I just wanna get that raw kind of crunch out. All right, it's been 4 minutes. Let's kill the heat and check on the rice. Perfect. The key is not overcooking it, because if you overcook the cauliflower rice, it's gonna get mushy. Just like al dente rice or kind of like rice that has a little bite, that's exactly what I'm trying to mimic here. Now, we haven't zested in a couple weeks, which is a little worrisome to some people, so let's add the zest of about half a lime directly in the pot and the juice of half a lime. And then I fully meant to add cilantro to this, but we didn't have it at the market. So, I don't know, Art, do you like cilantro anyway?
It's all right.
But some people think it tastes like soap. So, if you're one of those people, just use parsley instead. Add a good tablespoon of that. And then mix it all up. And I don't know about you, mijo, but I eat with my eyes first, and that is looking bonita, but we gotta try and check for seasoning. Wow, that's good. I love the texture of that rice. It has the perfect amount of bite to it, but it's the combination of the lime zest, juice, and those spices that really bloomed that are just kicking it. All right, that is done. Let's grill up our spice-crusted pork chops now. All right, it's been 20 minutes and take a look at the pork chops. You can see the marinade has really penetrated down deep into the pork. I'm preheating a cast iron pan over medium-high heat. I'm gonna switch back to the avo oil, add about a tablespoon. In case you're wondering, avocado heat or avocado oil or grapeseed oil is good for high heat cooking like I'm doing with these chops, whereas olive oil is better for sauteing like I did for the cauliflower rice. Whenever you add oil to the pan, let it heat up for about 30 seconds and then add the chops. And that's the reason why. You want that sizzle immediately because it's forming the spice crust ASAP. All right, I'm gonna let those chops go for about 5 minutes without touching them. Also make sure you slap down the old splatter guard. That'll prevent the oil from going everywhere and making a massive cleanup later on. Let's flip the pork chops. Beautiful. Look at the crust on those pork chops. That is absolutely perfect. Let them go another 4 minutes. All right, let's get the pork chops out of the pan. All right, last pork chop is out, and I wish you had smell-o-vision because Art and I are having like a fiesta for our senses right now. These pork chops look and smell great, but they're hot. We can't cut into them right now because if you do, the juices will run everywhere and they dry out. So we can talk about our burrito bowl fixins in the meantime. We're gonna have some standard stuff and some a little special. So right here I have tomatoes, I have red peppers, some lechuga or romaine lettuce, cheddar cheese, and a avocado. Now the only thing I wanna do is season the tomatoes to make them like a little pico de gallo, but not much effort. So I'm gonna drizzle over a teaspoon of really good extra virgin olive oil, a little pinch of salt, a crack of pepper, and just a touch of lime juice. Because it may seem like something that's trivial, but I want every bite of my burrito bowl to be full of flavor. And speaking of flavor, the olive oil I'm using is some of the best stuff I've ever tried. It's from the Extra Virgin Olive Oil Club. I have a promo code down in the description box. You get your first bottle for $1. It's so local, I can't even think about the deal. So, gonna mix that up. Now I'm gonna slice up the pork, assemble a burrito bowl for Art and I, and put this into our pie hole. Let's scoop a healthy portion of the cauliflower rice into the bottom of my bowl. Top that with some of the lettuce, some red peppers, then grab one of those pork chops, slice it up. Look how juicy that is. Perfectly cooked, I love that. Then place the pork on top of the cauliflower rice, add some of the tomatoes, a sprinkle of cheese, some sliced avocado, and a dollop of sour cream. And there it is, my friends, low-carb, keto-friendly burrito bowl. You can't even get this at Chipotle, Qdoba, what's another one of those places? Taco Bell. You ain't gonna find this at Taco Bell, obviously. Which one? Moe's, I don't know what that is, but Schmomo don't got none of this. All right, let's try this thing already.
When you walk in, every time the door opens, all the cooks go, "Welcome to Moe's!"
That sounds horrible. Huh. It's supposed to be messy. A burrito bowl. And I got a fork for you too when you're ready. Oh my God. The flavors on the pork chop are gangbuster. Spice crust is rocking. Pork is crazy juicy. And then every single bite you get, what are you doing there? like playing with your pork, put it in your mouth. Every single bite you have is full of sabor. It is totally loco. My God.
That's amazing.
Isn't that nice? The fact that it's keto friendly, low carb, but still has the same flavor that you want from a burrito joint is awesome. You guys, the recipe is down below in the description box, along with the macros, the heating, the storage. Make sure you share this video, spread the love all around the internet. If you want to see 2 more pretty epic keto meal preps, they are streaming below us right now, but we will see you next week. Until then, hashtag keep on cooking mad love. Peace.